47, Engine 44, Tanker 47, Tanker 1, Medic 30, Battalion 3, Responder 30, Daniel or Morrison Boulevard, Construction Fire, Residential, 10 out 14, 37.
Attention Battalion, what's the code for?
Hey, over Taylor.
Attention Battalion, what's the code for?
Hey, over Taylor.
Jasper County was formed in 1912 and sits in the southernmost portion of South Carolina. Known for its scenic waterscapes and majestic wildlife, Jasper County is now the second fastest growing county by population in the state. But with a growing county comes the responsibility to protect its citizens, particularly with fire and rescue services.
2008, 2009 was when we had our last ISO rating, which brought us to a Class 5/9 rating. Everything within 5 miles of a fire station and within 1,000 feet of a water source would give us a Class 5, with those residents would get a Class 5 rating. If you were inside of that 5 miles but outside of the 1,000 feet of a water source, you were a Class 9. And then everything outside of 5 miles was a 10. What we've done now is to, everything inside of that 5 miles from a fire station, it's a straight Class 4. So a lot of those residents in those areas now will be receiving from a 9 rating down to a 4, which is a tremendous savings in their insurance services. For a number of years now, since 2008, we've been working towards redoing our evaluation on ISO. And the County Council, along with the Jasper County Fire Rescue Emergency Services, was wanting to do what we could to help the citizens of Jasper County to lower their ISO rating, which would in turn help their insurance rating.
Previously we had 3 tankers, and they were strategically located throughout the county. These additional 5 tankers put one tanker into each fire station. Makes them much more readily available, closer to the incidents that we have, as well as we're able to dispatch more tankers to the fire and increase the amount of water that we can put onto the fire.
The council approved buying 5 tankers. These are used tankers, but in very, very good shape. And those 5 tankers will be the shuttle for the water back and forth. We had to have that. That was part of the deal with ISO, that we had to have those tankers. We also had to have some more volunteer firemen.
In helping lower the ISO ratings, the volunteers are able to respond units like the tanker that these tankers we received to get on scene quicker and to keep the full-time employees from having to come out to each individual station and pick up the apparatuses or particular units we need. We're being trained to operate and to run this equipment as efficient as the full-time employees based on our training and volunteer status, whether we've been here with a few months or several years.
It takes 4 volunteer firemen to be considered one full-time fireman. So we needed volunteer firemen, we needed more water.
The volunteers are able to supplement us, and when we need assistance, we're able to depend on the volunteers to come in and help us drive the truck, fight the fires. The volunteers we have today are really heavily trained volunteers. They're getting a tremendous amount of training, and I would depend on them just like I would our paid staff. They're no different. The only difference is they're volunteer. And they take pride in what they do. And that's what helps us to be able to maintain this ISO rating, is to continue getting volunteers in that's willing to be able to assist us in doing the things that we do, fighting fires.
ISO stands for Insurance Service Offices, which is a national insurance organization that rates fire districts on a scale of 1 to 10. Jasper County has worked hard to lower the ISO rating from a 5/9 to a straight Class 4, saving the citizens thousands of dollars a year.
By lowering the ISO rating to a 4 and a straight 4, everyone who lives within 5 miles of a Jasper County fire station now receives that insurance rating of a 4. and drastically reduces their insurance costs.
Overall, this ISO rating down to a protection class 4, a flat class of 4, is going to affect about 4,000 homes here in Jasper County, which is really a large number when you look at the overall population of our county as far as rooftops. So it's going to have a great positive effect, and we look into the future for what we're going to call phase 2, and that is substations, which are fire stations on a much smaller scale, to allow this same type of benefit to residents who may be outside of that 5-mile radius. Our overall goal is to completely blanket Jasper County with this new rating. We want everybody to have that same benefit, and we're not stopping here. We're going to look forward into phase 2 and keep moving forward so that we can have that flat rating of a 4 throughout our county.
The tanker trucks, which are now located at stations around Jasper County, are designed to shuttle water from water sources like a hydrant or pond to the location of a fire. Adding the additional tanker trucks allowed Jasper County to meet the stringent guidelines of the ISO.
Yeah, the tankers are used primarily in rural areas where fire hydrants aren't available. We'll send the fire engine to a pond or other water source, and it'll set up there, and the tankers will come through, get filled up, and they'll go to the fire scene and offload their water there.
Meeting the ISO requirements on a shoestring budget and without putting an additional burden on the taxpayers required out-of-the-box thinking and creative solutions.
We've been very efficient. That's one of the things that the county laid out in a very detailed plan, is what is the maximum return on our dollar. Well, how can we implement this plan, use as few dollars as possible to benefit our taxpayers, and that's exactly what we did. So it's been a triumph, a victory for our county for many years now. We've had great fire protection, but we've not been where we needed to be with the ISO rating itself. Our staff, our fire chief, the firefighters, EMTs, we've got the best in the business, and we're so proud to have those people working for Jasper County, and proud of the jobs that they do. And they're a huge part of what's taking place today. It could not have been done without them.